Via the Client Details section, click on Insurance. Then click the big blue plus button and then click on Risk Insurance. In the pop-out window, select the owner. In the Insurer field, you can search and select the insurance provider by either typing in their name or clicking the drop-down arrow to scroll through the list of providers available to select. The commencement date is the date of when the policy was available. Next, select the product name, again either by typing in the name or clicking on the blue drop-down arrow, which will provide a list of products filtered by the insurer. If a campaign is available, you can select. Select the purpose of the cover, the status, renewal date of the policy for the client, and the expiry date. The expiry date relates to when the provider may close out the product or no longer make it available. Select the ownership structure. You can nominate super-owned, non-super, or flexi. Depending on the ownership structure selected, the system will request additional or different information relevant to that structure. If super or flexi link is the structure, you can even nominate the client's SMSF as the owner. In this example, I will select super-owned, and the owner is the client's personal super fund. Only super funds that have been added to the system will be available to select from. Scroll down to select the primary cover type and amount. Premium type, and then select how the premium is funded. In this example, I will select Deduct from Super Account, since the personal super fund is the owner. When finished, you can click the drop-down arrow next to the Save option and elect to either add another insurance, add a rider, or add the premium expense. Let's save and add a rider. The pop-out window will clear and we can then add the details of the rider. I'm going to add TPD as a rider to the life insurance. Then add the occupation definition and continue to work through the screens, completing as much information as possible. When finished, I'm going to click Save in this instance. If I expand out the details of the Astron life insurance policy, I can see the rider is linked to the policy. I can click the pencil to the right of the Astron policy and make any changes, such as changing the ownership structure to non-super owned. When I do that, I will then need to select the owner. If I scroll down the screen, the premium details also need to be amended. Select how the premium is going to be funded from the drop-down menu and continue to complete any additional fields that pop up as you work through the remainder of the details before clicking Save. Back on the insurance summary screen, if we expand the details and click on the pencil for the TPD rider, in the pop-out window you can do the same thing, change the ownership structure. Click Save when completed. Let's now add income protection. Click the blue plus button, select Risk Insurance, search and select the provider, before then selecting income protection as the product. Continue to work through all the fields until all the relevant information has been captured. When finished, click the drop-down arrow and click on Save and Add Expense to add the premium expense. The screen will clear to add in the details of the expense. When finished, click Save. Back on the summary screen, I can see the IP with the premium amount. However, the expense for the life cover is still missing. Expand the Asteron details, click the white plus sign, and then click on New Expense. In the pop-out window, select the type of expense before continuing to add all the relevant information. Once finished, click Save. You've now added life cover with TPD Rider and income protection to the client's CRM.